do I love me a good Western. What's up everybody and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Let me first start by saying this. I am a spaghetti Western fan. I love the Sergio Leone movies, A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and my personal favorite, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So it's an obvious choice for me when they're telling me that they're gonna make a remake of my favorite film, The Magnificent Seven, and its starring role is Denzel Washington. Are you kidding me? I'm there. Now here's the thing, I have to give props to the visionary filmmakers that came before. It would be a crime not to mention them. So this movie is actually a remake of a remake, and one of the best films that I've ever seen, and arguably one of the best films made ever. Now the origin of this remake really came in 1954 with Akira Kurosawa's masterpiece, The Seven Samurai. Now, not only was The Seven Samurai a badass film, but it really redefined a certain genre. Actually, it spawned it, and it really gave rise to the ensemble cast. Films like The Dirty Dozen and The Guns of the Navarone. In fact, this story was so amazing that it was later remade again in the 1960s with Yul Brynner, Eli Wallach, Steve McQueen, and various other heavyweights in Hollywood at the time. Just like the original Samurai 7 and the remake of the 1960s version, The Magnificent Seven, this story stays true to the original source material. Similar to the original film, essentially a town hires a band of mercenaries to try to help them from greedy landowners who want to push them out. I gotta give it up to Antoine Fuqua for, first of all, casting Denzel Washington in the title role, because Denzel Washington is one of the coolest freaking guys in film right now, and that decision just made this movie perfect. He has a way of elevating whatever the hell he's in, and it really shows in this film. The brilliance of Denzel Washington's performance in this role is that he brings a certain level of vulnerability and incredible strength. He also has a backstory which is very complex, and I'm not going to ruin anything, but it's really freaking amazing. I also have to mention a very amazing standout performance by Ethan Hawke. The way he plays off of Washington and the backstory that they share together is really something special. I didn't expect it in terms of the level of depth, but man, did it work. With every ensemble cast, you always run the risk of one performance overshadowing the rest, but it didn't happen here. There was complete synergy among the cast, and it really played well off of each other. Christopher Pratt was freaking hilarious without being too cartoony. Vincent D'Onofrio was, well, Vincent D'Onofrio, and it was freaking cool. Bi-Yoon Lee was amazing, one of the best characters in the film. Also, I have to say that Manuel Garcia Rufo was great in this film too, and what I really liked is that in a movie of this quality, it was nice to see that a Hispanic was not only confident and strong, but also very heroic and didn't succumb to the common tropes of the typical stereotype. I also have to say that Martin Sessmeyer was also done really well. I like that they had a Native American character that was so dignified and so powerful in this film. But it goes a lot further than that, and I'm so proud of Antoine Fuqua and the screenwriters here, and didn't rely on the typical damsel in distress, because Haley Bennett was another important character in this film. I personally was captivated by her performance. She gave a lot of screen presence and was a great protagonist in this film. You know, Peter Sarsgaard is one of those actors that can really give a great performance in terms of how well he freaks you out. He was a great villain in this film. He wasn't over the top, he was just right, and actually his motivations were very realistic. And I think that's what made him even worse and such a bastard in this movie, but it was a great performance. From a technical aspect, I also have to say this movie is very impressive in terms of the fight choreography and just the massive scale of some of the set pieces. You know, with films that are relying so much on CG these days, it's really nice to see something very organic and something believable on screen. So, I gotta give props for that as well. I already hear it now. People will criticize that the film was either too long or it was too predictable. But you know what? It doesn't need to be anything else. It just needs to be what it is. It's classic. It's a part of a mythology in film history now that everybody can relate to because it has universal appeal. A simplistic story? Absolutely. But in that simplicity, you explore so many complex themes like brotherhood, coming together, doing the right thing, honor, and self-sacrifice. And this is why Akira Kurosawa's theme was so universal and has had such staying power. I also have to say that it really pleases me that Kurosawa's original and classic masterpiece is still influencing not only filmmakers, but writers till this day. The origin of this simple story obviously has Eastern influences, but it's also been influenced by Western literature, particularly Joseph Campbell's A Hero's Journey. Ultimately, this is a brilliant retelling of an already fantastic story, and I highly recommend this film. I also really recommend that you watch the original 1960s version, and definitely the 1954 Kurosawa masterpiece, The Seven Samurai. Alright guys, so that's my official review on The Magnificent Seven 2016. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.